I think to win a national championship, you have to go through UConn.
We've won the last two. That's as hard to do as anything. And then trying to win a third one, the odds, I think, are against it.
We have a great history, great rivalry. When the game tips off, everything else is pushed aside. It's a basketball game, and this one's for the national championship.
This year, we're younger. Nobody really expected us to make it this far, so we're not feeling any pressure.
I love being the underdog. I think it's a great position to be in. There's absolutely no pressure on us. The pressure is all on UConn.
When you're the underdog, you think all things are possible. I miss being in that situation.
UConn about to go after championship number 10.
It's one of those games that you dream about when you're growing up.
Returning to the national championship game.
Last year, we won that trophy. Nobody's taking that from us, and this year, it's a totally new trophy.
We just go out there and just let the game speak for itself.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Anything can happen.
We're the two best teams in the country, so we should be playing.
Tonight from Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay, welcome to the 2015 NCAA Women's National Championship game presented by Capital One. It's the UConn Huskies and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, a rematch of last year's title contest. UConn made that their unprecedented 9th crown. The Irish shooting for the upset. Once again, it's a battle between number 1 and number 2. And it's a great pleasure to be with you tonight here in Tampa Bay. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is Doris Burke. Thanks so much for joining us on the last night for college basketball this season. UConn has number 10 on their minds. They are a big favorite. But Notre Dame has given them more trouble, and you could say maybe has figured them out far more often than anybody else has the last few years.
Well, 7 times. In fact, in the last 11 meetings, the Irish have found a way. These are programs intimately familiar with one another. Both have established the expectation of winning. Let's tip it up.
Well, who do you need to know tonight? You need to know about the two biggest stars in women's college basketball going head-to-head. That's Brianna Stewart and Jude Lloyd, who's terrific. 2
unanimous first-team All-Americans, and for the first time in their careers, they had to move beyond just being the best player. They had to be the voice of their teams. And in the first meeting back in December, Jude Lloyd went off for 31 points. They had a 10-point edge. She's the most electric athlete in women's college basketball. Get her out in transition, and she's special, and they will move her around the floor. Yes, she can shoot the 3. They have a play called the Julie Oop. We hope to see it. On the other side, the Player of the Year, the Wade Trophy winner. She came to Connecticut with the intention to win 4 titles. 2 up, 2 down, 2 most outstanding players. Does she have another one in her? She's a dynamic shot blocker and scorer, the most difficult matchup in the country, Dave.
UConn and Notre Dame met in December in South Bend. The Huskies pulled away in the second half to win easily. What does tonight have in store in the rematch for the national crown?
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Quicksilver from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, every day. And in part by Ford. We go further, so you can.
Back in Tampa Bay, the Duke men were crowned champs last night. Notre Dame and UConn, the women trying to join them in the winner's circle. And it's time now for our national anthem. Here's our public address announcer, Molly Haynes.
And those who support our freedom at home and abroad. This evening's colors are being presented by the United States Marine Corps Recruiting Station Orlando Color Guard. And now please join former USF student athlete and former star of The Lion King as Nala on Broadway, Ms. Kissy Simmons, in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, both of the teams have been very open, and certainly the head coaches have, about their dislike for one another.
Certainly the rivalry has gone a little away from the civility that it was when we were in the league together.
You know, this is a function of women's basketball. Sometimes we act like girls, like we're supposed to go to dinner every night. You know, we're supposed to play each other, try to beat each other's brains in, and then we're supposed to get together afterwards and go have a bottle of wine. That's not going to happen.
But it's a rivalry that goes back to 2001 when Notre Dame upended UConn 90-75 in the national semifinal. It continued 2011, Notre Dame getting by UConn in that national semi. 2012, Notre Dame wins again 83-75, a game that went to overtime. Then the national semifinal 13, UConn besting Notre Dame 83-65. And last year in the national championship game, both teams went in undefeated, a big win for UConn. Time now for our Capital One starting lineups. Let's go back to Molly Haynes.
And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. At guard for Notre Dame, a 5'7" sophomore from Mitchellville, Maryland, number 15, Lindsay Allen. At guard for UConn, a 5'7" junior from Glen Heights, Texas, number 4, Mariah Jefferson. At guard for Notre Dame, a 5'10" junior from Lincolnwood, Illinois, number 32, Joel Lloyd. At guard for UConn, a 6'0" freshman from Hamilton, Ontario, number 11, Kia Nurse. At guard for Notre Dame, a 5'10" junior from Belmar, New Jersey, number 23, Michaela Mabry. At forward for UConn, a 5'11" senior from Anaheim Hills, California, number 23, Paulina Mosqueda-Lewis. At forward for Notre Dame, a 6'3" freshman from Pearland, Texas, number 11, Brianna Turner. At forward for UConn, a 6'4" junior from North Syracuse, New York, number 30, Brianna Stewart. At forward for Notre Dame, a 6'3" sophomore from Fishers, Indiana, number 12, Taya Reimer. And at forward for UConn, a 6'2" sophomore from Bolingbrook, Illinois, number 3, Morgan Tuck. And introducing the head coaches for Notre Dame, Muffet McGraw. And for UConn, Gino Auriemma.
Time to bring in Holly Rowe now. She'll be on the sidelines. Holly with more on how Joel Lloyd's confidence has helped the Irish. Holly?
Well, Dave, great players help elevate the play of those around them, and Joel Lloyd has done that for her team this year. They're young. They didn't expect to be back here at the Final Four, but her teammates say she is so confident in her own ability, she makes the rest of us feel like we're just as good. She gets that mentality from her favorite player, both mentally and physically, Kobe Bryant. She writes Mamba on her sneakers every single game. She said he has messaged her and kind of become a mentor to her. Through a colleague, we reached out to Kobe. He said he'll watch tonight, that Jewel Lloyd is such a great kid, that she's so eager to learn and compete. We will see if that Mamba mentality can help her Irish take a bite out of the Huskies tonight.
All right, Holly, they're going to need every bit of it. She had 31 against UConn when they met in December. And a couple of nights ago against South Carolina, very, very effective. But she might have to have the night of nights. She might have to do what she did against DePaul when she dropped 41 on them.
Well, certainly because they're so young. When your best player, be it Breanna Stewart for UConn or Jewel Lloyd for Notre Dame, if they're able to knock down early shots, then the rest of the team says, okay, we've got our superstar tonight, we're good to go.
Ready for the opening tip for the national championship. Great to have you along. 5th consecutive year these two schools are meeting in a Final Four. And this is for the title. UConn wins the opening tip, and we are underway. Dia Nurse with it, high up on the wing, back to Mariah Jefferson, who really had a nightmarish game in South Bend. The worst game of her season. She didn't score. She was 0 for 8 shooting and fouled out.
The Irish open man-to-man, and Breanna Stewart gets isolated, and that's typically in a one-on-one situation equal to getting a basket. She is that difficult to contain in one-on-one matchups.
Nobody's ever been the most outstanding player of a Final Four 3 times. She has that in her sights tonight. Here's Allen, the point guard. And they need a very smart game from her, and mistakes like that cannot keep happening. Here's Jefferson, one of the quick guards in the country, sealed off by Allen. In the lane, and it's going to be a 3-second violation. So Allen did a great job tying her up inside that lane.
She certainly did. And one of the things Mariah Jefferson has worked on this year, because Gina Auriemma had her watch videotape of Tony Parker, is keeping that dribble alive until something great is prepared to happen. In that instance, she picks it up in a bad spot.
Pete Kantner, Denise Brooks, and Mark Zentz, the officials. Here's Lloyd. A little bit too strong. Rymer turning around, right back up and in. She could be a giant factor tonight.
Well, she is a polished 6'2" player who's got inside-out ability, and one of the keys for the Irish is, can they win the rebounding battle? They got waxed on the boards in South Bend.
Hard drive there by the freshman Nurse out of Hamilton, Ontario, the American Conference Freshman of the Year.
We wondered how Nurse would play. She looked a lot more settled in the national semifinal game, but to that point, the NCAA tournament had been a struggle. She said the stage had gotten to me.
There's Rymer again very quickly to fire up 2 more. And it's 4 quick points for the Irish. Coming in averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds. The big sophomore who was pushed into the starting role in last year's Final Four. A turnover here by UConn. Here's Allen in transition. She'll go all the way with the left hand and block, but also a foul on the play. Lena Mosqueda-Lewis is kind of touching her forehead as if she took a knock as well. And the foul will be on Kalina. That'll be number 1 in the senior.
So one notable difference between the first matchup and this one is, if you're Gina Auriemma, you've got to pay a little bit more attention. You've got to guard this young woman at the free throw line a little bit more. She's become an assertive scorer. She struggled in the national semifinals. Interesting she gets here. Maybe it gets her started offensively.
An outstanding foul shooter at 85%. Both of these teams really knock down free throws. So if it should come down to that, nobody really has a clear advantage.
But the reason, the Irish have a chance tonight, you have to be able to put points on the board. I believe Carol Lawson said she thought Notre Dame had to get to 80. I asked Muffet McGraw about that. She said, we absolutely have to get into the 70s. You have the feeling it was high 70s.
On the drive, Tuck, and that one out of play. They'll keep it on this end. Tuck had a great game in South Bend in the UConn victory back in December. She just ate the Irish alive. She went for 25 points and 9 rebounds. Mosqueda-Lewis, the best three-point shooter in history. Short on that one. Turner with the rebound. Remember, Turner did not play against UConn first time around. That was a giant hole in the middle because of a bad shoulder. It was the game she missed. And that's when Tuck really went crazy. Allen trying to dish into all those white jerseys. Turns it over for the second time. Jefferson, quick step to her right, banks it in.
You can see Connecticut is relentless in transition. They didn't have numbers in that instance, but Jefferson's speed is a major factor.
She's already scored more points than she did the first go around with them. Stewart on Reimer. Trying to take that baseline. Look at Stewart defend and comes away with it in a great save. And that was all Brianna Stewart. Nurse was open, off to Glenna Mosqueda-Lewis. Just firing on her first couple of shots. Here's Lloyd on the run, but they don't see her. Allen completely missed her. Here's Mabry. Yes! With a three.
And those types of baskets to me are crucial. This is an Irish team that averages 80 points per game, and the more easy opportunities you can get against the nation's toughest defense, the easier your life will be.
She was 0 for 7 against UConn in the first game. Stewart with the left hand, it won't drop. Reimer collecting the rebound. Stewart trying to harass her in the backcourt. This is already turning into a pretty good battle between these two. Very spirited. Mabry, the guard, finally comes to get it. A packed house here at Tampa Bay. Backdoor cut, but off of Lloyd. Great idea, but poorly executed.
It was open. You get the feeling Mabry was just a little bit too anxious to put too much on it.
And Notre Dame with a 3-point lead here in the national championship game, trying to win their second. And the Huskies trying to win their third in a row. And that's for the second time, 3 straight. Tuck bottled up and lost it. On a play off of UConn.
Now it's the 5th consecutive Final Four for the Irish. They are unfazed by the stage. They are accustomed to winning, and they are here to play. Taya Reimer, what a difference a year makes. As a freshman, she was a little rattled in the Final Four. She's off to a fast start. In transition, their best shooter, Mabry, puts it down. Irish lead.
Well, the Irish have to be very happy with their start tonight here in Tampa Bay, leading 9-6 over UConn, a night that has seen the stars come out. John Gruden is here to take in the contest. He's certainly not alone. The great Notre Dame stars, Skylar Diggins, is in the house. So is Sue Bird, the 2002 Wade Trophy winner. And Dickie V, who has made his way from the men's national championship. He doesn't miss anything.
Not when it's this close to Sarasota, that's for sure.
Came over and grilled Doris Burke for 15 minutes about backcourts and coaching styles and who to watch. Kick ball, 15:42 to go here in the first half. UConn coming in at 37-1, and Notre Dame 36-2. And of course, you know that Gino was watching what Coach K did last night in winning his 5th national championship. Turner in the lane, can't get the roll. Stewart there to clear it. Gino bearing down on a 10th national championship. He's never lost in the title game. 9-0. The kick out for Jefferson. Her long one. Got it. A 3.
Yeah, you can see Lindsey Allen is giving her a cushion. And they did not guard Mariah Jefferson. You already noted how badly she struggled in that first matchup. She's been deadly from 3 since post-Christmas. And you have got to change how you guard her if she makes a couple.
She makes over 50%. Stolen away by Tuck as Turner tried to back down into the lane. Glenna Mosqueda-Lewis on the wing. Won't shoot the 3. Jefferson trying to use his third string right by that into the paint. And it's kicked out into the backcourt. Nurse has to go back to get it. And UConn will set it up. UConn beat the Irish 76-58 in December. There's only an 8-point lead at halftime, and Nurse will be traveling with it, and she turns it over. That's the 4th Husky turnover.
One of the things Notre Dame comes into this game expecting is that they can give a cushion to Kia Nurse, the freshman, and Mariah Jefferson. And Muffet McGraw is notorious for changing defenses. Against South Carolina, she showed a triangle and 2, a diamond and 1, man, pressure, you name it. She threw the kitchen sink. I expect we'll see the same.
UConn turned it over 24 times in their first meeting. Reimer straight on, got a great look, but couldn't bury it. Jefferson, an All-American, just won the Nancy Lieberman Award as the best point guard in America. Tuck to her right. Usually a shot she's money with. Tied at 9 as the Irish do not have a senior starter. Turn to Lloyd. That 3-pointer, a lot of iron, almost dropped. Jefferson wants to run. Going up against Turner. Here's Nurse launching. Rebound, tip to Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. She'll lay down.
It had been a quiet start for Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis because the nation's best shooter is being tracked by Jewel Lloyd, and she's face guarding her. So what does she do? She creates her own.
The cut, Lloyd, denied by Stewart, who's one of the best shot blockers in the country.
Well, at 6'4", with the wingspan she has, Gino teases her often about never being down in a defensive stance, but she has become a very good defender.
Allen over the top. Lloyd averaging 20 points a game, ACC Player of the Year. The All-American driving by Stewart. Dipsy do. Oh, is that pretty?
How special is this player? I mean, this is the most electric athlete in women's college basketball who's got a polished and diverse offensive game.
And never, ever gets nervous. Westbell, the freshman in the game, wearing number 33 for Notre Dame. Neither one of these teams will go very deep. Here's Kalina. Oh, nailing the three.
A simple downstream. And one of the things you like about the way both of these two teams play, they're a read and react offense. So they taught their players how to play. They haven't taught them plays.
At times, it's almost like a mirror image. Reimer with a misfire. Here's Stewart trying to get the offense going again. Off for Jefferson on the attack, full throttle. Reimer got a piece of it. She looks ahead here for Lloyd, but a long pass out of play off Notre Dame. Well, they had a breakaway and an easy two.
You can sense some nerves, on both sides. These are two highly efficient offensive teams, low turnover teams, and while they've settled in for the most part, the turnovers to me are reflecting their nerves.
Well, 6 already for the Irish. Notre Dame beating South Carolina in the semifinal on Sunday in a thriller, 66-65 on this floor. And Madison Cable hit the game-winning shot. She's in there now. The back door, and there's Kalina for two. She has 7.
So if someone's face guarding you, what do? You look for opportunities to become a cutter, and that's exactly what Mosqueda-Lewis is doing.
Here's Allen with a jumper. Rebound tip, Reimer right back up, didn't waste any time. How about the follow there by Allen? She gets it back off the fake. Stewart with another block. And it comes to Jefferson. How about the spin move to get free into the offensive end? Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis traveling with it. We can almost see the wheels turning in her mind. Do I have the room to take a three?
Yeah.
To step into that transition three that she hit so many times.
Well, she's the most prolific shooter in women's college basketball history. It is pure, it is pretty, and it's deadly. And in transition or off opportunistic cuts, you better watch out there too.
Women's National Championship, UConn with a 5-point lead on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Doris Burke, take us inside the play.
Well, Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis is always looking for opportunities where she can sneak away from defenders. So it looks like a screen and roll with Jefferson and Tuck. She actually starts to direct a little traffic. Can I screen for my teammate? She sets it up with a little back screen and then steps away to three. She's got UConn's last 7 points.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, they want to pay a little more attention to Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. They particularly want to find her in transition. Muffet McGraw of Notre Dame saying, hey, somebody has to find her. We've got to talk and communicate. She also wants them to calm down on offense. Hey, don't be afraid to throw it back out if you don't have a great shot, just like that one.
Well, Westbell took a shot that didn't touch anything. Turner with a great save, but right back over to the Huskies. And Turner has to get back into the play herself. Tuck backing in. That's a shot that could be there all night for her.
Well, they get post isolation. UConn does that to me as well as any team in the country. They find a way to get Tuck or Stewart isolated in the post in a one-on-one situation. She's the freshman on her, says, I got this one.
If she has the game she had in South Bend, she could wind up the most outstanding player.
No question.
Of this Final Four. Westbell too strong. So she's had a couple of poor shots right out of the gate. Tuck trying to beat everyone to the other end. Deflected away by Notre Dame. Exactly 11 minutes to go. And so far, we've only had 1 foul call.
Well, your offense is not working. You're now 4 for 15 if you're Notre Dame. So your defense has got to buoy you here for the next couple of minutes. You've got to string together a couple of stops.
Westbell leads, and Reimer comes back on for Muffet. Tipped by Stewart, trying to save. Did to Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, cross-court Nurse. Shot clock at 15, and Jefferson will set it up. 14 points, 5 assists in 38 minutes against Maryland. What a very smart floor game. It's Tuck again, spinning in. That's a shot that she normally hits.
She looks nervous. She's
does.
rushing everything. She doesn't look. This has been the most consistent player by demeanor all year. Tuck is nervous right now.
You made the point. She should be an All-American, a first-team All-American. Stewart straight on. She, of course, already is. National Player of the Year twice. 7-point deficit for the Irish. Lloyd and a foul. As Nurse and Stewart both went after that shot. 10:13 to go in the first half. Kia Nurse will pick up her first. And now Kia Stokes will come on. Gina Auriemma has really used her very surgically most of the season. But the best game she had all year was in South Bend, where she had a spectacular game with 18 rebounds. The Thursday at 5 Eastern, the Frozen Four gets underway in Boston. Providence and Nebraska Omaha face off in the national semis on ESPN2. And you're smiling because you're going to be there.
I have tickets in my bag, and I am not covering that sport, so I say go Nate, go Friars.
No rooting on press roll, though. You're going to be in the stands. You'll be fine. Tuck beyond the three. She can hit that shot. Long one, Jefferson. On the other side, Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis comes away with a rebound.
Well, you love that the senior, as you would expect, though you're taking away her strong point, her three-point opportunities, she is finding ways to contribute.
Tuck off the fake, got Turner airborne. That's a round and out. Stokes battles for the rebound, tied up with Reimer. Those two really fighting for it. It'll go the other way. Notre Dame has the possession arrow.
Now, this was the lineup where you go to UConn's big lineup, which means Mosqueda-Lewis is moving to the two-guard spot, and you've got the big lineup. The 3-4-5 is very big. When UConn took over the game in South Bend, it was with this big lineup. As you said, Stokes dominated the glass.
Along with those 18 boards, she had 4 block shots, so she really was all over the place. Allen with Jefferson on her. Turner setting that screen. In the lane for the jumper. Knocks it down.
Oh, that's a tough shot. She's going right into the teeth of all that size.
Allen with 4.
And here's your problem with the lineup. They don't check Stokes at all. They will use her defender as an extra help defender.
Well, they brought Hannah Huffman in to body up on Stewart, giving her a tough time just to get the basketball. 10 to shoot. Tuck lets it fly. Too strong. And it'll be saved by Allen. Starting to fast break now for the Irish. Driving on Jefferson. Huffman on the baseline. Trying to lay it up. But denied. Great defense underneath the rim by UConn. Stewart, the jumper. Floats it in. She has 4, and UConn leads by 5. Stewart just named a first-team All-American again. Trying to lead UConn to a 3rd consecutive national championship. And that would be every year she's been in Storrs. Turner has been a non-factor offensively. Shot clock down to 7. Batted away by Tuck, and they knock it free. Stewart goes down. Nobody touched her. She hit the deck, and she's in some pain. 8:04 to go in the half, and Brianna Stewart just kind of collapsed on the floor, Doris. She needs a little help to get up, and a very positive sign she's on her feet. But that was an awkward fall.
She's trying to handle it in transition. I'm a little afraid they made the push pass. You can see she just twists that left ankle. And clearly in some pain. I think she was trying to cross over from left to right, and in doing so, to make the stop, twist her ankle.
They're going to lose the player of the year for the foreseeable future. She's out of the game. So the UConn Huskies. Tuck on the spin. Boy, she's just off tonight.
We've never seen her miss this badly. I think once she started to miss her first few, she started to press a bit.
Allen got it. Knocking down a pure 2-point jumper. And here come the Fighting Irish.
Well, we wondered how Lindsay would react. The 0 for 5 in the national semifinals. Got in foul trouble. Never found the rhythm. Would she settle in? It looks like she has.
So Stewart out of the game. Here's Jefferson's three. Off target, Stokes the rebound, and yes.
Just so big. Stokes, her opportunities are sort of against certain matchups in certain windows. She has been so productive as a shot blocker.
They're going to retape Stewart's left ankle, it appears. The step back by Lloyd. Boy, she loves that shot. She can hit it all day.
That's her specialty. I mean, she's hit 31 threes, but her specialty is the mid-range and at the rim. And you want to make some hay here if you're the Irish with Stewart out.
Lloyd loves the spotlight, I think, every bit as much as Stewart does, averaging 24 points a game against top 25 opponents. Nurse for a three. That didn't touch anything, and it's out of play.
So the more chances you give to Kia Nurse, that's the players you want shooting those shots.
Well, that was a shot of Brianna Stewart, the Wade Trophy winner, at the end of the bench with 6:43 to go, in some pain. Looks like they're wrapping up that ankle. Maybe a big opening here for Jewel Lloyd. Teen over Notre Dame in the national championship. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, what can you do to take advantage of Brianna Stewart being out of the game right now?
Well, I think we can go inside a little bit more. I think without the shot blocker in there, but we've got to do a better job on the boards.
Transition also. I heard you talking to your team about transition in the huddle. What do you want to see better there?
Yeah, we need to run a little bit more. We need to set the drag, but also defensively, we need to be better transition.
Thanks, Coach. Okay.
Team actually out rebounding UConn by 15-14. They have retaped the left ankle of Brianna Stewart. Here's how she injured herself. We think she's getting ready to check back in.
You can see she's thinking about stopping, crossing over, and in doing so, she plants that left foot, turns it. We'll see what her mobility level is here as she hits the floor again.
She's back on the court. With 6:40 left in the first half in a tight one. The point guard, Allen. Up top for Mabry, who hit one early three. She's been quiet since then. Reimer up against Stewart, testing her right away. Stewart there for the rebound.
She went quick with her shot, which you have to do against the shot blocking of Stewart. It was a decisive move, just can't complete it.
Stewart with 6 rebounds. Tuck launching a three. Yes.
I said it on the national semifinals, and she struggled here. She, to me, is a first-team All-American, and you're only allowed to nominate 3 from your team. And there were 3 first-team All-Americans for UConn. I think it's a rule that has to be changed.
Well, she went out and got 24 points, 9 rebounds against Maryland. A little slip there by Lloyd, but kept possession. Turner hands it off. Lloyd, the All-American, driving into the lane. Another scoop shot for 2.
Yeah, she's so slithery and able to score against larger opponents, either with a little deception or with her athletic ability. That one, the deception.
They leave Jefferson open again. Rebound comes out high. Back for Tuck. On Reimer, facing up. Jefferson swings it for Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. 5:23 to go in the half. Stewart's mobility could be in question after that slip in the ankle injury. Jefferson again, but well short. Rebound tipped right to Reimer. On the outlet, here's Lloyd. Long distance, she can't dial that one up. Another rebound for Stewart. They're going to wait for Brianna Stewart to come back into the play. UConn with 3 first-team All-Americans on the floor. Turner with the stuff.
I don't know why Mosqueda-Lewis would think she could drive on an athlete like that with that length. I mean, Turner can guard on the perimeter. 6'3", you bring it right to the shot blocker.
Yeah, that's her game. Reimer's the open shooter. In and out. Shot it quickly.
Yeah, part of the problem for UConn on the offensive end right now, because Stokes is not an option offensively, essentially on this end, you're playing 4-on-5. Reimer is sitting in the paint, not guarding Stokes at all, just trying to shade to where her teammates might need help.
Stokes will not give them a whole lot of scoring help. 5 points a game. But she is something on the glass. Here she is on the baseline. That was intended for Stewart. Picked up by Allen. Lloyd working on Tuck. A little bump, no foul. And out it goes. And who gets the basketball? It's going to stay on this end.
I thought there was enough contact for a shot. So did Muffet. You're in transition. And let's see. I think that's enough for a foul.
I would agree. So 4:04 left. Nurse coming back on. Stokes will leave the floor. Jewel Lloyd, by the way, 3 out of 8 shooting in the first half. Notre Dame to put it in. And Jefferson with the theft. Picked it away from Lloyd, and she lays it in.
That is one tough cookie right there, folks. Lean frame, but a mean game for Mariah Jefferson.
5-7, maybe.
Yeah.
Lloyd trying to get her offensive game. That's a tough angle shot, but got it anyway. Wow.
How about that? Maybe the best in the country, I think, at taking shots under duress. You know, in that instance, she didn't have to get separation with a fadeaway, but she's got a very nice fadeaway. When a defender with length is Gardner, that time she just goes right over Jefferson.
Tucked in the lane and will be fouled on the play by Westbeld, and Muffet could not believe that call. With 3:22 to go. That's the first Notre Dame foul.
Wow. Watch Jewel Lloyd, a unanimous first-team All-America, goes right at Mariah Jefferson, who challenges big time. Did it matter? No, ma'am.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, official partner of the NCAA, and Wendy's, proud sponsor of the 2015 John R. Wooden Men's Player of the Year Award.
Augusta, so special. The anticipation. Now as Tiger, Rory, Phil, and Bubba look to tee off, there are no roars yet, just hope. The Masters, first and second rounds, Thursday and Friday, 3 Eastern on ESPN. Big announcement this week, Tiger will play in the par 3 tomorrow. Coverage beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. He hasn't played in that in years.
Well, how about Bubba Watson is one too? He's the defending champion, and he's the least liked guy on the tour, according to some poll. I guess that's probably a good thing if you're a competitor. You're disliked.
According to some poll, Tuck off the fake. Air-mailed it over the top of the iron. So her up and down night continues. Turn on a long run, and once again, Notre Dame throws it away on a breakout attempt. That's 9 turnovers. Let's go to Holly.
Gino Auriemma is not satisfied with this UConn offense right now. He's asking his players for more movement. They're too stagnant. He actually called out Morgan Tuck and said, I need you to be more of a screener. He wants more people flashing, more handoffs, just more energy and movement overall.
Well, you wonder, too, about Stewart and that ankle, her jumper on the way. Well, I guess that answered that. It appears to be just fine. She has 6 here in the first half, along with 8 rebounds.
Mariah Jefferson face guarding or trying to face guard Jewel Lloyd.
Lloyd back for Allen. Working away around Nurse. Here's Maddie Cable down the lane. A little too open, I guess. Tries to save it and throws it away. Just a wide open layup there.
Yeah, 10 turnovers for the Irish. That will hurt against the efficient UConn team. And Stewie working hard against Brianna Turner. Sets a screen, steps away, and this is the bind she puts you in. You know, you work so hard on the post to guard her, then she steps away. You got to come with her. She's capable of making that shot.
Notre Dame is led by as many as 3. UConn's biggest lead has been 7. Stewart commanding it, but picked off by Cable. Smart read down on the baseline. Look at Allen go around the back for the jumper. Off the back iron. She got her hand on it. Lloyd got it back out top for Allen. Under 2 minutes to go. That's going to be an offensive foul. They're going to get Reimer for knocking down Nurse. He and Nurse hitting the deck. That brought a big grin. Not from Muffet.
Just far too many turnovers. Right block here, as you see, Reimer just displaces the defender. Nurse thinks she's got the smaller player sealed and can't understand it.
Very few fouls in the game, just 2 apiece. So in that sense, it's been a clean game, but there have been some sloppy turnovers.
Yeah, the 10 for the Irish.
Tuck looking inside. Stewart trying to get free. Stewart for a 3-pointer coming. There's Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis drawing the foul underneath. He's been able to get under there a couple of times to either get to the line or get a shot off. Not usually where she likes to live.
It's her 3rd offensive rebound, but a scorer's mentality. And so if you're being denied, go find some other way to contribute.
Reimer with a foul. That's her second. Alina going for third consecutive national title. Rarely misses at the line, 92%. Westbeld returning. And Reimer heading to the bench with a minute 37 before halftime. Up, and McGraw doesn't want her to pick up another cheap one.
I think it's an important time. Both teams need to finish strong. If you're the Irish, you're trying to cut this deficit, keep your momentum going, stay attached to UConn. And, you know, typically it's right about this time you see UConn go on one of their patented runs.
Well, the whole concept of staying attached to UConn might be the toughest thing to do in sports. There's a block by Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. It comes to Lloyd, deflected out of play, and UConn piling up the block shots here.
It doesn't matter that you get offensive rebounds, because if you don't have the size to keep it above your head, there's so many long arms and good defenders.
Already with 5 blocks. Shot clock is at 8, and a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Jefferson for the personal. That'll be number 1 on Mariah. With a minute 14 to go before the break. Allen for Westbeld. She takes it into the lane and shoveled it, and off Turner. Even though she had a shot, but her confidence is down because she's missed a number of them.
All right, she's got to play under control, and Coach McGraw going to get her out and replace her with Hannah Huffman.
Huffman certainly a defensive specialist. She made that great stop on Tiffany Mitchell in the Final Four with just seconds to go on Sunday to seal that victory over South Carolina. Less than a minute. Tuck mishandled it. Back for Nurse, and now Jefferson. Shot clock's at 7. And that's going to be a foul against UConn.
See, I think one of the things you're seeing is the offense is bogged down. And one of the things Muffet McGraw told Holly, and Gino basically reiterated the same thing in some pregame interviews, both coaches talked about how familiar they are. They both run similar offensive systems, a lot of the same sets. So the scouting, you know what's coming.
Allen will back it out. Gino wanted to get Kia Stokes into the game, but they had already inbounded it. And one of the officials said, stop right where you are at the scores table.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he's not going to pull her back to the bench, because they're going to have the ball back.
5 on the shot clock, taken away by Jefferson. Allen and Lloyd in that backcourt, terrific defenders, but a lot of the UConn fans thought there was a foul on that play. 7-point lead for the Huskies.
We'll go a little stagger screen here.
Tuck. Wanted to get off a shot. She can't. And a foul on the play before the final horn to end the half on Huffman. And even though it's gone to zeros, there was a whistle. Huffman reaching in.
Should be 2 shots. I thought she had absolutely gotten into her shooting motion. See if we hear or see the light. Yeah, no, it seems to me like she should be taking a couple free throws.
Now they are going to go to the monitor here. Take another look as Tuck made her move on Hannah Huffman. Pretty clear to us there was a foul there before time expired. Official review at the moment.
Yeah,
they're going to put some more time on the clock too.
Yeah, nice quick review.
So 30-23, UConn will be at the line here to shoot. Tuck.
Amen to a quick review.
Pete Kantner all over that. Tuck is a foul shooter, 75%. Coming up on the Northwestern Mutual halftime report, Kara and Rebecca with their first half analysis, and Gino Auriemma on everything. And that's how the first half comes to an end. She made 1 of 2. UConn with a 31-23 lead over Notre Dame. That's their biggest lead of the first half. And it's the same size lead that they had in South Bend in December when they won that one easily. Let's go to Holly with Jewel Lloyd.
Well, Jewel, UConn goes on these patented runs. What do you think your team did well to not let them gain so much distance when they'd go on one?
Just making open shots for us and playing hard defense. Trying to rebound and just contest every shot that they take.
your freshman, Brianna Turner, hasn't been able to get going. You know, she had 17 points in your semifinal. What can you do to build her confidence out there?
Get it going early in the second half. Run her plays. Let her settle in and it'll be fun.
Thank you, Joel.
Yep.
Missed a lot of open opportunities. Well, the game would be a lot closer. As it is, UConn leading 31-23 over Notre Dame. And now we send you to Kevin Nagandi for the Northwestern Mutual halftime report. Kevin. UConn is 20 minutes away from a 10th national championship. We welcome you back. Presented by Capital One. It's the NCAA Women's National Championship game. Notre Dame and UConn. UConn ahead 31-23. Let's go to Holly with Brianna Stewart.
Well, Brianna, what happened to your ankle in that first half?
I just rolled it. I think I came down on someone's foot and just rolled it, but I got taped twice, so I'm all set.
Did you do any treatment in the locker room at halftime?
No, I just got retaped.
So it feels okay?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your team right now. What do you guys need to do to be a little more efficiently offensively?
I think we need to take our time on offense. You know, we're rushing ourselves a little too much and trying to score on the first pass, and, you know, we're playing really good defense, so we have to take our time on offense.
Thank you.
Holly, thank you very much. Well, she has 6 points, 8 rebounds. She's also blocked 3 shots in the first half.
Well, she's always a major factor because you're sending at least a defender, usually a defender and a half at her. I'm not sure who just hit me on the neck, but that's all right. But
that was Dickie V, by the way.
These are the stats at the half. You can see what Connecticut did on the offensive end. This is a team that shoots 50% from the floor. The Irish held them to 38%.
Underway in the second half. Notre Dame gets their first crack at it. As these two teams collide yet again in the national championship. Mabry will knock that one down, and a quick start for the Fighting Irish and their best three-point shooter with her second of the evening. UConn fans remaining on their feet till they score. Nurse up top for Tuck, a two-pointer. Off target, Mabry there for the rebound. The Irish only shot 30% in the first half. Reimer spinning, denied, and that was Helena Mosqueda-Lewis who blocked that shot. And a foul at midcourt. They'll get Lloyd trying to make the pick. As she jumped in and fouled Jefferson, her first personal. We'll see what Morgan Tuck does in the second half. Just 2 for 9, Doris, in the first 20 minutes.
She just missed her first opportunity. These are all shots we are accustomed to seeing her finish at a high level.
Stewart. The jump pass. Nurse tries the reverse and a foul as she hits the deck before the shot. 1 minute in to the second half.
I think one thing that's interesting, or should be interesting, and Rebecca alluded to this just prior to coming back to us, the Mariah Jefferson situation here in the second half. You talked about how efficient she has been from 3 all year. She was 1 for 5 from deep. The Irish are going to play her a certain way. They're going to give her those opportunities. And this morning at shoot-around, Rebecca said if they play her that way, because it'll be the first time in several months because she shot it that well, what effect does that have on the kid's mind? So let's watch this play out with Mariah, because I think they're going to continue to give her that 3.
Mabry picked up the foul moments ago. Very few fouls in this game. Neither one of these teams fouls much. Lloyd with a pull-up jumper. And Tuck with the rebound. Huskies, of course, a terrific shooting team, 54%. But Notre Dame at 50%. They can both make their threes. Notre Dame 41%, Notre Dame 39%. But neither side shot it great in the first half. Jefferson backs it out. Shot clock whittles down to 10. Mosqueda-Lewis back for Jefferson. They have to get a shot in the air. Helena launches and can't bury it. Turner with a rebound. Rebecca said she expects Turner to have a show-up second half because, frankly, she did not in the first 20.
Well, she normally gets 4 to 6 points off rim runs where she beats people up the floor. She's not beating UConn up the floor. They can match her in transition.
Mabry will fall away off the window. Turner tapped it right to Nurse. She wants to run very aggressively, and it spins off the iron. Tuck rebounds it, off the fake, a foul, and she'll go to the line.
Nice job by Nurse. You know, her teammates didn't run with her initially, but she felt she had the advantage, so she pushed the issue. And by doing so, her teammates finally catch up, running the floor, and having a nice job on the offensive glass is Morgan Tuck.
So the foul on Mabry, her second. She has to exit. And a three-point play for Morgan Tuck. Let's see if that really gets her rolling. The lead up to 10. It's the biggest lead of tonight's championship. Maddie Cable gives up the dribble. The star of the semifinals made a poor pass. Nearly picked off. Driver back for Allen. Shot clock down to 9. Another steal here for UConn. Nurse wants to get it and go, stepping through everybody for two.
Well, how about that? Playing above her head on the Canadian national team. We wondered how the freshman would respond on the game's greatest stage. Go ahead, Kia Nurse. The danger zone for the Irish, because we talked about it, the patented UConn runs. Another turnover leads to a transition opportunity. Kia Nurse, go ahead.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by the bold look of Kohler.
The championship has opened up its biggest lead, a 12-point advantage over Notre Dame, 38-26. Muffet McGraw with a timeout moments ago. Let's go to Holly.
Well, this is by far the most animated I have seen Muffet McGraw tonight. She is so upset with her team right now that they're not showing more fight. She yelled at them saying, hey, if you're not pissed off right now, then you might as well quit now. You have got to be willing to step up and do something hard. She got right in the face of Madison Cable. She needs more from her and everybody else on the floor. At times, she'd just stand up and walk away and shake her head, speechless at what she's seeing from her team right now, trying to beseech them to try harder right now.
Have the ball here. Allen on the dish to Turner, and a quick strike out of the timeout.
Good job probing. There's an exchange on the ball screen, big to little, so Turner gets exactly what she wants in terms of the matchup and makes it easy.
She gets her first 2 points of the game, too. And she averages 14. So far, that's been a big hole. Turner on the high post, trying to free up Stewart. She'll drive it herself, and the kick. Here's Nurse. A line drive jumper won't fall. Allen wants to push the tempo. Long one on the way, but that won't drop for Cable, but they'll get a second effort out of it. You really feel like it's Julie Lloyd's time, don't you? If they're going to get something going here, and a foul against the Huskies with 16-17 to go. That'll be on Jefferson, her second.
One of the things that's had to happen, because both programs lost key members. Natalie Achanwa and Kayla McBride graduate for the Irish. Stephanie Dolson, there's Natalie Achanwa now on the coaching staff. Dolson and Hartley lead for UConn. So those best players had to become more of a voice. And if you ever needed a voice right now, you need Julie Lloyd to speak with her game and speak with her mouth. You know, Holly came on the air talking about how she inspires confidence. This is a moment. They need confidence.
Natalie Achanwa has become indispensable as far as details and counseling. The stick shot won't fall for Lloyd. She's trailing the play badly. Glenna Mosqueda-Lewis mishandled it. Here's Nurse, the open shooter. It allowed her to take some open jumpers a couple of times here to begin the second half. Reimer will inbound now for Notre Dame. They'll have the ball with 15:56 to go. UConn leading by 10.
UConn has won the national championship. Championship number 2. They did it. Back to back. 3 championships in a row. UConn has done it again.
Number 7, great number 8.
Champions from 9 times.
And number 10 is within sight. And the array of influences on the court and at home around Gino Auriemma.
Well, the great Maya Moore, the great Sue Bird, and Marciella in the house. No rosary beads in her hands. Gino's mom, I'm a little surprised by that.
Not yet. A 10-point lead.
She usually steps on the bus throwing holy water at everybody.
Stolen away by Jefferson. She has Nurse running with her and can't lay it in. Rebound tip. Lloyd gives chase. And will go the other way. Notre Dame ball here. Irish 10 points down. Of course, the UConn Huskies usually win by 40-plus points per game. Look at the shooting so far tonight. Both of these teams well below their averages. Reimer catches, fires, it clangs off the iron. They're going to get a second effort, though. Allen to drive it. The kick. Turner underneath. Rushed it, followed, and got it.
Yeah, she is such a terrific athlete. And I know she hasn't scored much, but she has done a heck of a job on this end of the floor trying to battle Brianna Stewart every trip up, using her athleticism to make catches tough on her.
4 points all in the second half. Stewart harassed, fronted by Turner. Here's Tuck. It's going to be a double dribble. She turns it over. That's 9 for UConn. NBA action continues Wednesday with a doubleheader at 7 Eastern. Isaiah Thomas leading those Celtics into Detroit. The Celts trying to claim a playoff spot. Then at 9:30, Dirk and the Mavs hosting the Suns. Boston currently 8th. And they're 1 game ahead of Indiana and Miami.
And they finally have a finisher in Isaiah Thomas, somebody who in late game situations, because Brad Stevens has done one heck of a job keeping them in ball games. They needed somebody who could play late.
8-point lead for the Huskies. Irish with the ball. Allen lost the dribble. Nearly stolen away by Jefferson. Lloyd can't bury it. Stewart's there for the board. Notre Dame missing some opportunities. They continue to leave Nurse open to shoot.
And she wisely, early in the shot clock, didn't choose to shoot it.
Drives it, no foul on the play. Some contact, no whistle. They let them play on. Lloyd trying to get inside Stewart. A foul, and she'll be at the line.
And Stewart thinks she got all ball, and she did. But with the lower body, there was contact. And this is why the foul is called. She sneaks through. You can see Brianna Stewart realizes, and on the closeout, you can see on a closeout, so hard to do. Go out, close, contest, and contain.
Yeah, they actually got Kian Nurse for that foul.
Wow.
Nurse with the personal. And she'll come off, and on comes Stokes. As Lloyd is back at the line.
You get bigger and you get more rebounding, but again, what we saw in the first half, the Irish can play 4-on-5 on the defensive end because they don't guard Stokes, and Stewart has not gotten a shot yet, and I cannot understate the job Turner, the freshman, has done battling her.
Well, the UConn fans getting a little bit antsy as the lead is tightened up.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. The Irish in a triangle and 2, open shot for Mariah, and she makes them pay.
10 for Mariah Jefferson. 10 more than she had when they met back in December. 41-32. Irish in need of an answer. It's Allen straight on. Too strong. High rebound. Cable comes up with it from her knee. Got it to Lloyd. And a wild shot there. Really forced it. But they're going to keep it. It's off UConn. Galena Mosqueda-Lewis was beside herself.
It's the right call. They forced a difficult shot. Really a poor decision by Jewel Lloyd, but it was off the white jersey.
And the Irish catch a break. Allen quickly in for Turner. Taking the baseline. Quick dish. Reimer had it batted right back at her. Her 17-footer, and she knocks it down. Give her 6 points.
Offense by accident.
Irish will take it any way they can get it.
No doubt.
Against the Huskies. Jefferson. Here's Tuck. Stewart rolling to the ball.
How good is that? Just keep moving. Madison Cable was trying to face guard her, so they take Turner off her. And Stewie with that ability to navigate the defense without the basketball.
Just 8 points for Stewart, but she's on her way to a double-double with 11 rebounds. Allen into the corner for Maddie Cable. The pull-up jumper. Yes.
That's a tough competitor. The Irish will tell you that Cable is the second toughest competitor on the team beside Jewel Lloyd.
They will also tell you she makes as many big plays as anybody.
Yeah.
Even before that shot in the semis. Tuck demanding the ball. Off the fake. Quite an array of moves back to Stokes for two.
Well, Chris Daly would be happy, boy. Stokes with a good finish with the left hand. Chris Daly, the associate head coach who works with the posts.
Taylor setting the screen. Allen gets it off for Reimer. Allen directing some traffic. The bounce feed. That was beautiful for Turner and two.
She's masterful. You know, we talk about Mariah Jefferson, the point guard of the year, won the Nancy Lieberman Award. There's one of those in the bank, I think, in the future for Lindsey Allen, perhaps.
Letting fly, and that one's going to be knocked down by Tuck, a three-pointer. Well, she got off to a choppy start.
Yeah.
But no longer.
Settled in, hasn't she?
Back up to 10 for UConn. Waiting for their third straight national crown for the second time. Cable in heavy traffic will draw the foul. She'll go to the line.
Ooh. All of that size. She took them on. Will get a couple trips to the free throw line. But it's still a 10-point edge for the Huskies. And where does it come from? A little bit of everywhere. Face up, lift the defender. Nice strong finish from Kia Stokes. And then the three. Morgan Tuck has settled in. Maya Moore says, that's how we Huskies roll.
UConn leading Notre Dame by 10 points. Coming out of the timeout, here's Holly with Gino Auriemma.
Well, Coach, you continue to ask your team for more movement, more ball screens. What do you want your offense doing a little bit better?
Well, I thought the last couple possessions we were better. I just think we gotten a little bit standing around and trying to post people up, you know, and that should come after we move, not as the first thing we do. So, and then maybe we'll shoot a free throw. You know, that would be nice if we just get to the free throw line once. You know, maybe down the road we will.
Let's hope. But Brianna Turner, their freshman, you held her scoreless in the first half. She's come alive a little bit here. What do you have to do better there?
That's what's happening. You know, once you get in the lane and we rotate over to help, somebody's going to be left open. So we did a better job of keeping them out of the lane in the first half, but they're not easy to play against, or they wouldn't be in this game, right?
Right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. His team actually has attempted more foul shots than Notre Dame. They're 5 for 7. Notre Dame 6 for 6.
There's usually a wisecrack in every interview at some point. We should take a look at the stats. Connecticut is up to 40% shooting. Look at the Irish on the glass, a 10-point edge, one of the key areas, but those 15 turnovers have turned into 12 UConn points.
Madison Cable at the line, the senior from Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Led the ACC in three-point shooting, also an excellent foul shooter at 83%.
She's one of the few departures. I mean, this is an Irish team that is adding a bulk of talent next year and lose Cable. Everybody else, for the most part, coming back, including one of the most electric players in college basketball, Jewel Lloyd.
Unfortunately, for the rest of college basketball, UConn brings a lot of people back, too. Helena Mosqueda-Lewis will move on, and so will Kia Stokes, but everyone else is returning. Stewart on a stumble. They're going to call that a charge on her. Offensive foul.
Yeah, those are the plays that you were referencing, right? For Madison Cable, she's not a big scorer, but look, she's going to compete. She's going to beat you to the spot and force a UConn turnover. Those are the nuts and bolts, the role players you can't do without if you're going to win games.
So the Irish have a window here. They have crept back to within 8 and with the ball. Can they turn it into something? Turner with a terrific play with a catch and the bank shot.
Little high-low play with Reimer, who's a terrific passer in that instance, and wisely Turner uses her athleticism, doesn't come down with the ball before the shot blocker can close.
Freshman Gabby Williams getting ready to check in for the first time for Gino Auriemma. And that's another foul against UConn, an offensive foul.
Wow, Stewie trying to work on Cable.
That'll be on Helena Mosqueda-Lewis, her third. So So 10:20 remaining. 6-point lead. Notre Dame closing in. Reimer. Bounce feed stolen away by the quick hands of Mariah Jefferson. She's made some big plays on the defensive end tonight.
Her 4th steal of the night.
It is 16 Notre Dame turnovers. Stewart on the crossover. They're going to keep it on this end, out of play off the Irish.
I would say that's the next sort of development in the evolution of Brianna Stewart, excuse me. The tightness of her handle, under duress between bodies. You know, she's so tall that her handle or dribble is high. She's got to get that lower and tighter.
We saw a great one against Texas in Albany. Here's Jefferson straight on. Buries it, a three-pointer.
Boy, I tell you, we said it. What would her mentality be, right? Rebecca asked the question. She was 1 for 5. They were letting her open. You pay the price as a shooter, your confidence is going to come.
Jefferson with 13. Reimer wants to fire. Short. Turner kept it alive and batted it back out. Nicely done by the freshman. On the attack, Allen. A little wild there. Got it back. The kick, Cable's open for 3. Turner had it knocked out of her hands by Jefferson. Reimer just ripped it free.
Look at how many tips Jefferson has gotten in one defensive possession. You know, great job by Carol Lawson going out to stores and sort of talking about defense. You saw it on the pregame show. It was outstanding. That is a case in point. She's all over the floor.
Irish are afraid to turn around when she's within a couple of feet. That'll be a foul before the shot. No basket by Turner. Look at Gabby Williams holding underneath with 8:50 to go.
You know, it's interesting. We get the chance to meet with all of these kids, all the starters in between the semis and the finals. And one of the things Mariah Jefferson said to us that she thought this game would come down to is, she said, both teams execute. Who's going to play harder? Who's going to get to the 50-50 balls? And Mariah Jefferson's trying to get every one.
Well, Stewart took a spill. She was looking for a foul. That opened it up for Turner, and an easy lay-in. Skylar Diggins loves the effort, 51-44. Notre Dame still hanging in. Turner offensively has made a huge difference in the second half. All 10 of her points. And another foul. And look at Gino Auriemma as he is applauding that whistle. And that'll be the first on Lindsey Allen. Reimer will head to the bench. Williams trying to contain it. Bounce feed off of Huffman. She goes sprawling after it. She leads the Irish in that category.
Yeah. I wonder, does Gino make a substitution here for Gabby Williams at any point? Nurse is getting a breather. He has elected not to come with Stokes in that instance.
Auriemma holding up 4. Batted away by Allen. Instead of Lewis for Williams. Oh, she had an easy layup and missed it.
Yeah, you wondered about her nerves. Near turnover on a pass into the post and then a missed chippy.
Kick ball here with 8:04 to go. The closest it's been in this half is 5, and the score was 31-26. And Williams is coming out. And you may not see her return to this national championship game.
They're just coaching her that right there, saying, settle down, settle down. You try to put her in prosperity so that she can get some confidence, and it doesn't happen.
Lloyd airborne, tough bank shot, not there.
Wow.
Foul here against Huffman, trying to get in the face of Stewart. She commits the personal. It's getting physical down the stretch of the national championship.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Quicksilver from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, every day.
44 over Notre Dame. Doris, take us inside the play here.
Well, we've talked often about Mariah Jefferson and how Notre Dame was playing her. They're going under every screen. She was 1 for 5 from 3. We wondered about her mentality. Look at how far away those defenders sink. She's made 2 threes. They were both at times where the Irish were making runs, and look at these numbers.
As compared to December 6th, which she'll admit was the worst game she had all season long. 13 points, but also 4 steals and 4 assists. So the defense has been superb. She's been a giant pain in the neck for the Irish.
Rick Pitino would love her because she's constantly getting deflections.
Galena around and out with a three. Cable there. Maddie Cable playing some very, very important minutes in her senior season of the national championship game. The entry for Turner to her left and two.
Really good job. And we've seen that play run on the UConn side of things. It's usually Stewart being delivered. She couldn't get around the freshman Turner, who makes Stewart look bad on the defensive end. That was a nice play.
Approaching the 7-minute mark. Down the stretch we come here in Tampa Bay. Tuck off for Nurse. She'll shoot it. Got it. And another three.
Boy,
that really stings Notre Dame.
So timely. It's been Tuck, Jefferson, and now Nurse.
They're not afraid to shoot it. One thing Gino Auriemma said he's been preaching for so long. He does not want his kids to ever have a fear of losing. It should never enter their mind. Cable bouncing here for Allen. The fake, but Nurse recovered beautifully. That's 7 on the shot clock, girls.
I like the lineup. They're going 4 round 1, a really small lineup for the Irish.
Allen with 2 on the shot clock. Turner has to heave it and bank it in. Oh, she got a little lucky. She'll take it. That keeps the Irish 54-48 down.
Just a 2-possession game. And now if you're Connecticut, can you execute?
Stewart, been a quiet second half for the All-American and the Player of the Year. Just 2 points. Jefferson, 10 to shoot. Driving right by Allen. Boy, did she burn her.
She just does that so well. She does a great job of tucking the ball away like a running back underneath the rib cage. Nobody can get a steal without a foul.
Timeout, Notre Dame. Muffin McGraw takes one. Mariah Jefferson holding the side of her head. So apparently took a knock. She has been the player of this championship game for Gino Auriemma.
Let's take a look at Mariah Jefferson's last basket. It seems like every time they need a score, they get one. This is a straight line right-handed drive. Sells it. Look at her tuck it away so Lloyd can't get it. That is beautifully done. 15 points, 4 assists. Go ahead, Mo.
Well, they've got Mo, and she's coming off 14 and 5 assists, playing 38 minutes against Maryland, and a wonderful floor game. So the lead back up to 8. We invite you to catch the Frozen Four's second semifinal for Boston as the hometown Terriers of Boston University. BU taking on North Dakota Thursday at 8:30. That's on ESPN2.
You wonder how UConn will react if Notre Dame keeps this game pressure on them. Can they get a score and add a little bit to that?
And hands it back for Allen. Nurse picking her up.
But Jefferson just doing a heck of a job keeping Lloyd quiet, battling, trying to keep her away from the ball.
4 to shoot, wriggling in, banking it in. Allen, a terrific play. So Notre Dame trailing by 6. Gino Auriemma has never lost in a national championship. He's 9-0, 1 win away from number 10. Nurse with kind of a wild bank, and the Irish come away. Lloyd right by Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, but no foul on the play. Here's Jefferson to the open floor. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis with a 3. They have just been breaking Notre Dame's back beyond the 3-point line. One big triple after another. A 9-point lead for UConn.
What a battle between Mariah Jefferson and Jewel Lloyd. Just working so hard as Mariah.
Huffman taking the baseline. Bouncing into the lane. Allen's open. Left it way short. And she was wide open with that jumper. The UConn faithful now in full voice. UConn's made 5 of 8 beyond the 3-point line in the second half. Kalina buries a 2-pointer. Timeout Notre Dame. The Huskies are up 11 with 4 minutes to play.
It happens quick, doesn't it? It was a 6-point edge. Notre Dame looked to have seized momentum. But a defensive play by who else? Mariah Jefferson into the dangerous transition three. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. The Huskies playing with no fear and a title on the line.
Diggins was more than Connecticut could handle.
Will dance on to the championship game. Kick out. Mallory lines it up and knocks it down for three. And that was blocked by Dolson. You've heard it before. The 2014 national champions for an unprecedented 9th time. And in line for number 10, 4 minutes and 6 seconds to play. They have now opened up an 11-point lead, Doris, over Notre Dame. And those three-pointers have been crucial for Gino's team.
They're shooting here in the second half, 5 for 8 after going 3 for 13. And this is the best rivalry in the sport. With the Tennessee-UConn Void, it's not a series that's played any longer. They were conference foes for so long with championships on the line. It has been, by far, the best rivalry.
Lloyd goes down but maintains, working on Jefferson. This has been a full night's work for number 32. Short. Cable jumped in, trying to keep it alive. And a tie-up deep into the corner. It'll go the other way. UConn has possession.
Boy, I just love how hard Kia Nurse plays. Just, you know, her brother is a big-time hockey player. And competitive spirit. You can make up for a lot of things when you play hard.
She's from Hamilton, Ontario. On the drive, Jefferson. Tuck trying to free up Brianna Stewart. Short on that one. Reimer with the rebound. Still a window of opportunity here for Notre Dame. Cable. Taking the baseline, stepping through. Notre Dame has missed a lot of shots like that tonight. Shots that would appear to be quite easy, but they have not gone down for the Irish. And now, under 3 minutes, it's 11 points for UConn. Jefferson, too strong. Stewart will keep it alive. She has 14 rebounds. So it hasn't been a great scoring night for the player of the year, but it's been a huge night on the glass.
And with her shot blocking.
And there's Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. She was asking, demanding that pass. And it's up to 13 now for the Huskies. Under 2.5 left. Gino Auriemma 1 win away from joining John Wooden and Phil Jackson as the only coaches in major college or pro to win 10 championships. 2:21 to play. UConn with the ball.
And Mariah Jefferson in this second half has been attached to Jewel Lloyd. And at the half, Jewel had 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting. She is now 4 for 16. And you can thank this woman with the ball for that effort on the defensive end. Jefferson's been dynamite.
Tuck turns. Back for Jefferson. Stewart working on Turner. Her jumper. Can't nail that. Rebound comes back to Tuck. Trying to get free. And a timeout. Gino Auriemma with 1:53 to play. The NCAA Women's National Championship. Less than 2 minutes to go. And UConn leads by 13 points. NBA action continues Wednesday on ESPN with a doubleheader. First at 7 Eastern, Isaiah Thomas leads the Celtics against Detroit. Boston trying to claim a playoff spot. Then at 9:30 Eastern, Dirk and the Mavs will host the Suns. So down the stretch we come here in Tampa Bay. Dave O'Brien and Doris Burke 13 points, and UConn with the ball and looking to run some clock here.
Yeah, I think you'll obviously take this inside of 10, do the best you can in terms of trying to get the matchup you want individually. And a minute and 53 seconds away from what would be a 10th title for Geno Auriemma. We are witnessing coaching greatness. Make no mistake. Compare him to whomever you wish. He would stack up against anybody.
We did last night with Mike Krzyzewski winning his 5th. For the Duke Blue Devils, and now Geno closing in on his 10th. Helena too strong with that 3. Tipped out of play. It'll be Notre Dame ball. They have it with a minute 39 to go.
And obviously, you're trying to get your first clean look at 3. If not, get to the rack, try to get fouled. You got to be efficient here.
Mabry launches way downtown and hits a 3. 10-point game. Under 90 left.
Simple dribble handoff play, perfectly executed.
They've got a foul, but not doing it. They're going to allow UConn to continue to dribble it away. Jefferson on the attack, can't get it. Here's Lloyd now. It's a quiet second half. Allen can't hit it. Turner kicks it back out. Allen with another one coming. Can't hit that. Stewart collects it under a minute to go. 63-53. No fouling here.
The Irish conceding, so a 10th title for Geno Auriemma.
There was a lot of time left to not think about fouling, if you ask me.
I agree. I thought on the miss, you got to go and foul, trap, and foul right away.
It was very odd. Jefferson loses it out of play with 31 seconds to go. I think that's going to be a head scratcher for a lot of people. Why Muffet McGraw decided not to foul anybody, not to stop the clock. It was like with about a minute to go.
You wonder if the 3 that they had attempted or one of those 3s had made it. Would she change her mind? And now Stewie comes out.
15 rebounds for Breanna Stewart. A huge night on the backboard. She is on the verge of a 3rd straight national title. So is Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. For UConn, it'll be their 3rd straight. Here comes Lloyd's jumper off target. 17 seconds left. They're already celebrating. Geno Auriemma. He is about to equal what the great Wizard of Westwood did at UCLA in men's college basketball. UConn has done it again for the 10th time. They are the champions. Absolutely remarkable. A 3rd consecutive national title. 10th overall and the most all-time and counting.
We are witnessing coaching greatness. There is no question. Yes, he gets great players, but he's not afraid to coach them hard and get them to exceed even their own expectations.
The final score tonight, history will note, UConn 63, Notre Dame 53. Breanna Stewart. She came to Stores to win 4 national titles. She has won 3. Deanna Taurasi said it the other day. She said, you better get her in her junior year because you're not going to get her as a senior.
As she walked to UConn with the intention and the purpose of winning 4 straight titles, 3 up and 3 down.
Now you get the impression watching Geno in those final seconds, he might not be able to fathom exactly what he's done so far. He told us the other day, my wish is that our program is recognized as the best in our sport. It doesn't have to go beyond that. If anyone wants to take it beyond that, it won't come from him.
You are correct. I get a sense he's a little afraid of the blowback that might happen if people start comparing him to John Wooden. But coaching greatness is coaching greatness, and against his peers, he has done it better than anybody.
As he often says, I get the best players.
That helps.
And he has great ones in Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, who is about to graduate, move on to pro ball. And, of course, Breanna. Let's go to Holly with Geno Auriemma.
You keep saying, wow, wow, as if this was very difficult for you tonight, Coach. What was the hardest part in your mind?
The hardest part was beating a great team. I mean, You know, I talked to Muffet before the game. She said we didn't expect to be here. They have so many young kids, but I'll tell you what, they were unbelievable. They were unbelievable, as they usually are. And these kids right here, you know, they played their butt off all year long. I'll tell you what, I know we've won a lot of these, but I don't know that I've ever been more proud of a group of kids than I am in this group, because I didn't trust them in the beginning of the season. I didn't trust them one bit, you know, and especially after the Stanford game, I trusted them even less. And each day, each week, we just kept growing and growing. And man, I don't know what to say, Holly.
Well, the kids said to us earlier that the thing that they're the most proud of this season is that they feel like you trust them now. How did they earn that? Every day
in practice, every situation that we put them in, they fought through it. Every obstacle we threw in front of them, they dealt with it, and they learned to depend on each other. And each day they got more trustworthy themselves, and I think that just culminated tonight.
I know you're uncomfortable with the comparison to John Wooden because it's different sports, but what does 10 national championships mean in history to you?
You know, it obviously is, obviously it's a very significant number because that's the number that's been out there, and people want to talk about it. I'll be the first to say, I'm not John Wooden, and I got a bunch of friends who would tell you that I'm right. I'm not. And as I said the other day, I just think what we've done here the last 20 years is pretty remarkable in its own right, and I'll let people who write the history decide where I fit in.
Thank you, Coach. Your senior, Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, you had a big hug for her. What was it that Coach said to you in that embrace as you were just leaving the court?
He's so happy for me and glad that it ended this way and that I've come a long way.
There was a moment in this game they pulled within 6 and you come down and bury a 3 time and time again. What were you thinking out there, Kalina?
I knew Notre Dame was going to try to come back. They weren't ever going to go away. We had to put them away, so I knew I had to step up and make a shot.
In your senior season, what does this mean to you to give Coach such a gift, his 10th national championship?
It means a lot. After everything that he's given me, this isn't even close to matching what he's given me, but, I'm glad that I could be a part of his 10th national championship.
Thank you, Kalina.
Thank you.
Holly, thank you very much. She looks very, very at home with that trophy as we take a look at tonight's Capital One Cup Impact performer. And it was certainly Mariah Jefferson with 15 points, 5 assists, and a terror on defense.
She decided the last time they played the Irish that she would never put her teammates in that kind of bind and allow them to play 5-on-4 because she wouldn't be guarded. She put in the time. She delivered from 3 on multiple occasions, and what an absolute terror she was on the defensive end of the floor to the nation's second-best player, Jewel Lloyd. Yes, she was dynamite on offense, but she impacted this game as much with her defense.
Well, I'm with Gino Auriemma. Wow, 10 is just such a tough number to get your head around. But they've got all summer to do that.
And a long way to go. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's going to be added to.
Absolutely true. 63-53. UConn is the national champion once again. Stay tuned for the trophy presentation and plenty more coverage coming up from Tampa Bay. For Holly Rowe and Doris Burke, I'm Dave O'Brien, and now it's time for SportsCenter.